So we're going to be adding color to Plantzilla in two different ways. The first way will be by painting it. So if you have a watercolor set, that's perfect for this, so water-based paints. Doesn't have to be a watercolor set that looks like this one. There's other paints that if you mix water in them, they work the same way. You might be using like acrylic paint, just make sure to add a little water to it. If you don't have paint, you can use crayons, colored pencils, kind of keep your colors a little light at this point, okay? So I'm going to rinse out my brush, run it over the edge of the bucket twice there. So I have the effect that the flower pot's getting overlapped, so I need to try to do the flower pot first and then do the plant leaves overlapping it. So I think my flower pot, I want to make it, I think it might be interesting to do it purple. So I've loaded some purple paint on here, so I'm going to go along my sketch here. And at this point, if you cover up some of your lines, that's okay, because we're going to actually use darker colors to restore them and put them back. All right, so I need a little more water, a little more paint here. So I'm going to come out from under the branch there, filling that in. Now the inside part of the flower pot probably would be a little darker from the dirt and some of the leaves casting shadows in there, so I think I'm going to wait to paint the inside part. So I'm just painting the side that some of these leaves and these vines are overlapping. So along here. And I can see it there, but the leaf is overlapping it, so I'm not going to paint it because I can't actually really see that part. I can see it in the sketch. All right, so I'm going to rinse out my brush. I think I'm going to get a little black on there to go darker inside the flower pot there. And I'm going to go inside this part, doing there. I got a little paint on the leaf there, but the nice thing is I haven't painted the leaf yet because it's going to overlap that anyway. So that'll make my chance to kind of fix that a little bit. All right, now I'm going to go in and do some of the details on Plantzilla. So getting some green here. Now not all plants are green, so if you have another color in mind, go with that. I know there was like some red and purple described in some of the colors on Plantzilla, so maybe this part's green, but maybe I use some other color somewhere else. All right, and then the central stem here. And this paint set actually has two greens in it, so I'm going to try this darker green for this detail. Oh, I kind of like that. That's cool. All right, so if you needed to, you could actually mix colors to go a little darker. And then I think I'm going to use that darker green on this leaf. So I have some leaves that are different shapes, so maybe the ones shaped the same are that same color green. And I'm going to rinse out my brush, so maybe my bigger ones are all that lighter color that I did the central stem. You want to think, okay, well, I did a sketch, so some of my lines are light. What should I see? What should I not see? What's getting overlapped here? So for instance, back when I talked about that paint getting on the leaf there, well, if I go in now, I just paint right over that, and nobody knows that ever happened. Mr. Bazin does not make mistakes, right? Unfortunately, it's in the video. You guys saw it. But Mr. Bazin also feels like if you fix it, it's not really a mistake. It's just part of the process. Sometimes you might make a mistake where you actually like what happened instead of what you planned on happening. All right, so I am going to continue painting the foliage or the leaves and vines on Plantzilla. You guys are going to work on yours.